Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Current Affairs Weekly Quiz. Let's begin with the first question. Where was the first captive-bred Great Indian Bustard chick of 2025 hatched? And the options are A. Ranthambore National Park, B. Some Conservation Breeding Center Jaisalmer, C. Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, and D. Keoladev National Park. The correct answer is option B, Some Conservation Breeding Center, Jaisalmer. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav shared the news of the first captive-bred Great Indian Bustard GIB chick of 2025. In a social media post, the minister said that the egg was laid on 12th February by 4-year-old female Reva after mating with a breeding male, Leo, on 7th February at the Some Center in Rajasthan's Jaisalmer. It was artificially hatched by the Project GIB team in Some Conservation Breeding Center, Jaisalmer. Question 2. Which highway connects Manipur to the rest of India through Nagaland? The options are A. Imphal-Churachandpur Highway, B. Senapati-Imphal Highway, C. Imphal-Moreh Highway, and D. Imphal-Kangpokpi Highway. The correct answer is option B, Senapati-Imphal Highway. The death of a Kuki protester and injuries to several others on March 8, including security forces personnel, shattered 4 months of relative calm in Manipur. The incident occurred when the protesters resisted the government's efforts to open the highway from Senapati to Imphal in Kangpokpi district, north of Imphal. The highway connects Manipur with the rest of India through Nagaland and is the lifeline of the state for the movement of goods and personnel. Moving on to question 3. Which country was the largest importer of major arms in the 2020 to 2024 period? A. United States, B. Russia, C. Ukraine, and D. India. The correct answer is option C, Ukraine. Ukraine, involved in a war with Russia for the past 4 years, was the largest importer of major arms in the world in the 2020 to 24 period, clocking a nearly 100-fold rise in imports compared with the figures of 2015 to 2019. India was the second largest arms importer, though the trade figures decreased by 9.3% between 2015 to 2019 and 2020 to 24. According to data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute or the SIPRI. Question 4. Who is the Delhi Water Minister responsible for the Yamuna Task Force initiative? The options are A. Arvind Kejriwal, B. Rekha Gupta, C. Parvesh Tahib Singh, and D. Manish Sisodia. The correct answer is option C. Parvesh Tahib Singh. Delhi government set to deploy Yamuna Task Force to protect floodplains, curb encroachment. Parvesh Tahib Singh, Delhi Water Minister, confirmed that the initiative is being undertaken and said that the government is committed to restoring the Yamuna and protecting its floodplains. Question 5th. What astronomical event did Columbus predict to intimidate the people of Jamaica? A. Solar eclipse, B. Blood moon or total lunar eclipse, C. Meteor shower, and D. Comet sighting. The correct answer is option B, blood moon or total lunar eclipse. As sky watchers gear up for a total lunar eclipse this week, a well-documented episode highlights how Christopher Columbus, the famed explorer and navigator, leveraged his astronomical knowledge to his advantage. According to an article published in The Guardian in 1999, Columbus predicted a blood moon in 1504 and consequently manipulated and frightened the people of Jamaica into fulfilling his demands. Question 6. What is the hormone responsible for the ripening process in bananas? Your options are A. Oxytocin, B. Ethylene, C. Chlorophyll, and D. Carotene. The correct answer is option B. Ethylene. The UK-based biotech company has developed new gene-edited bananas, claims that their fruit remains fresh and yellow for 12 hours after being peeled. Bananas are extremely perishable, with some estimates saying that as much as 50% of the crop goes to waste each year. Brown, overripe bananas often end up in dustbins even when they are perfectly edible. This has led to scientists developing a new genetically engineered banana which has a longer shelf life and does not brown as much. Moving on to the next question. What is the significance of March 12 for Mauritius's National Day celebrations? The options are A. The anniversary of Mauritius's independence from the British. B. Mahatma Gandhi's visit to Mauritius in 1901. C. The birth of Sibusagar Ramgoolam, the first PM of Mauritius. And D. The Dandi March led by Mahatma Gandhi. The correct answer is option B. Mahatma Gandhi's visit to Mauritius in 1901. PM Modi is visiting Mauritius for its National Day, which, like much else in the country, has an Indian connection. Its location in the Indian Ocean also makes Mauritius strategically important. A key reason for the special ties is that people of Indian origin comprise nearly 70% of the island's population of 1.2 million. Mauritius was once a French colony. Question 8. Which organizations are collaborating on the ASAMSAT project? A. NASA and ISRO. B. InSpace and the Department of Space, Government of India. C. DRDO and the Assam government. And D. IIT Guwahati and the Ministry of Agriculture. The correct answer is option B. InSpace and the Department of Space, Government of India. Assam government announces plans to launch ASAMSAT, a satellite to collect data for socio-economic projects and border surveillance. Students from Assam will be involved in building experimental satellites with InSpace and ISRO support. ASAMSAT will enhance border security and disaster response with real-time data and alerts. Question 9. Which amendment froze the number of Lok Sabha seats until 2001? A. 42nd Amendment. B. 44th Amendment. C. 84th Amendment. And D. 91st Amendment. The correct answer is option A. 42nd Amendment. A delimitation storm is brewing in the south, with Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin opposing the population-based exercise over fears that southern states would lose out on the Lok Sabha seats. At an all-party meeting that he held in Chennai on Wednesday, Stalin said the 1971 census should remain the basis for any allocation of seats through delimitation for 30 more years beyond 2026. Question 10. Which country has the most cities among the top 20 most polluted cities in the world, according to the IQ Air's World Quality Report 2024? A. China. B. India. C. Pakistan. And D. Bangladesh. The correct answer is option B. India. An air quality report published by a Swiss air tech company revealed that 13 Indian cities were among the 20 most polluted in the world in 2024, with Bornihad in Meghalaya topping the list. According to the IQ Air's World Air Quality Report 2024, India's rank fell from 3rd in 2023 to 5th in the list of the most polluted countries, owing to a 7% decline in PM2.5 concentrations. The level dropped from an average of 54.4 microgram per meter cube in 2023 to 50.6 micrograms per meter cube. Question 11. What is the most common way hantavirus spreads to humans? A. Through direct contact with infected animals. B. Through aerosolization when rodent waste is disturbed. C. Through human-to-human transmission. And D. Through contaminated food or water. The correct answer is option B. Through aerosolization when rodent waste is disturbed. Hantaviruses are a family of viruses carried by certain rodents such as deer mice, white-footed mice, rice rats, and cotton rats. According to the CDC, humans typically contract hantavirus through contact with infected rodent urine, droppings, and saliva. The most common way the virus spreads is through aerosolization. When fresh rodent waste is disturbed, the virus particles become airborne and can be inhaled. Question 12. Which flu viruses have been reported in the recent surge in Delhi? A. H1N1 swine flu, H3N2 and respiratory syncytial virus RSV. B. H1N1, H2N2 and H5N1. C. Influenza A being an H3N2. And D. Influenza B, H1N1 and pneumonia causing virus. The correct answer is option A, H1N1 swine flu, H3N2 and respiratory syncytial virus or RSV. Delhi sees surge in influenza B, swine flu cases across age groups. The surge in viral cases has also led to an increase in hospitalization of patients with pneumonia, bronchitis, and sinusitis. Hospitals across the city have reported a spike in patients affected by influenza B and H1N1 swine flu viruses. Upper respiratory tract infections, high-grade fever across age groups, and cough and fatigue lasting a couple of weeks are common symptoms that patients have been complaining about, experts underlined. Question 13th. Where is Chennai's first wetland sponge park located? A. Near Marina Beach. B. Off Mount Poonamalli High Road, Porur. C. In Pallikaranai. And D. In Besant Nagar. The correct answer is option B. Off Mount Poonamalli High Road, Porur. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has inaugurated Chennai's first wetland sponge park in an OSR land off Mount Poonamalli High Road, Porur. Officials said the wetland sponge park is the first of its kind in the city as visitors will be permitted inside a wetland unlike Pallikaranai and learn about the ecosystem and the species. The entry fee is expected to be finalized shortly. Question 14th. Which country was the only one to vote against the resolution declaring July 12 as the International Day of Hope? The options are A. China, B. United States, C. Russia and D. India. The correct answer is option B. United States. On March 4, 2025, the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly voted in favor of a resolution to declare July 12 as the International Day of Hope. However, 4 countries, including India, chose to abstain from voting, while the United States was the only country to vote against it. Question 15. What significant recognition did Kabar Lake receive in 2020? A. It was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. B. It was designated as a Ramsar Site. C. It became a national park. And D. It was listed as a biodiversity hotspot. The correct answer is option B. It was designated as a Ramsar Site. Though water is on the verge of drying in Bihar's Kabar Lake, locally known as Kabartal, in early March itself, not a healthy sign for a large wetland, the state government has not sanctioned the ecological restoration plan for the Lake Cum Bird Sanctuary. The lake, located in Begusarai district, is the first wetland in the state to be listed as a site of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. Question 16. Under which act were the sacred groves and burial grounds in Jamunagar village protected? A. Forest Conservation Act 1980. B. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. C. Forest Rights Act 2006. And D. Environment Protection Act 1986. The correct answer is option C. Forest Rights Act 2006. The Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs has directed the Odisha government to examine whether due process was followed in the eviction of Jamunagar villagers from the core area of Similipal Tiger Reserve. The directive comes after villagers lodged a complaint alleging that their sacred groves and burial grounds protected under the Forest Rights Act 2006 were bulldozed, excavated and altered. Question 17th. Which Indian Navy warship assisted the Iranian dhow of the Somali coast? A. INS Vikramaditya. B. INS Sarvekshak. C. INS Tarkash. And D. INS Chennai. The correct answer is option C. INS Tarkash. In a display of India's commitment to maritime security and regional cooperation, the Indian Navy's warship INS Tarkash swiftly responded to an emergency at sea, assisting an Iranian dhow and its crew off the Somali coast. The vessel, which had issued a distress call, was facing critical issues with its drinking water supply, while one crew member had sustained injuries due to harsh weather conditions. Question 18. What was the theme of the World Sustainable Development Summit 2025? The options are A. Climate Change and Biodiversity. B. Partnerships for Accelerating Sustainable Development and Climate Solutions. C. Global Cooperation for Environmental Protection. And D. Net zero emissions and sustainable growth. The correct answer is option B. Partnerships for accelerating sustainable development and climate solutions. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupendra Yadav inaugurated the World Sustainable Development Summit 2025 in New Delhi. Organized by the Energy and Resources Institute, TERI, the summit aimed to foster global partnerships for advancing sustainable development. Question 19. What is the primary environmental benefit of hydrogen-powered trains? A. Reduced energy consumption. B. Zero carbon emissions. C. Increased fuel efficiency. And D. Enhanced passenger capacity. The correct answer is option B. Zero carbon emissions. India is set to mark a historic milestone in its railway sector with the launch of its first hydrogen-powered train. The train is scheduled to commence operations by March 31, 2025 on the Jind-Sonipat route in Haryana. This groundbreaking initiative aligns with India's vision for sustainable transportation, reducing carbon emissions and embracing cleaner energy sources. Moving on to question 20. What is the monthly allowance offered to eligible women under the Mahila Samriddhi Yojana? The options are A. Rupees 1500, B. Rupees 2500, C. Rupees 3000 and D. Rupees 5000. The correct answer is option B. Rupees 2500. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta announced that her government had approved the Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, under which eligible women beneficiaries would get a monthly allowance of Rs 2500, a poll promise made by the BJP. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.